Dave Clawson. Will you talk first of all a little bit about the kicking situation at this point? I mean, when will you decide? What will you use to decide?
Well, I would say 3 of the 4 major decisions have been made. Obviously, Brian Schmeidebusch is our punter, Corey Johnson's our snapper, Anthony Farinello will handle kickoff duties, and there continues to be a battle between Steven Stein and Tyler Tate for the PAT field goal job. We'll let that play out.
What will you do, or what will you use to judge that?
I mean, how well they're kicking, but a lot of it is, you look at all the numbers, and we every kick they make in a scrimmage we keep track of, but a lot of it comes down to a gut decision and who's got the hot foot, and we'd like to get settled, but the two are pretty even. I mean, they're very competitive, and they're both kicking better than anybody we had last year.
Will you talk a little bit about the strengths of each one real quickly?
Well, I think Steven Stein has a very natural stroke. He gets the ball up quickly, and he's got a very natural rotation with it. And Tyler Tate has a stronger leg. Certainly, if it's a longer field goal, he's been much better and has a lot more pop.
And you had mentioned Farinelli on signing day as a guy who really had the opportunity to step in and do the kickoff job. What have you seen from him in practice?
He kicks it further. He kicks it further than the other guys. I mean, that's that's not one of those real evaluate. I mean, we've done enough kickoff drills, and when he's up there, he kicks it longer, higher, and further.
Switching a little bit to Matt Schilz. I mean, his improvement this year is going to be a little more difficult to figure than last year, I would say. I mean, last year was numbers. He had fewer interceptions, more touchdowns, more completions. Is it, judging his improvement this year, a little more subtle task, or?
It's wins. I mean, the job of the quarterback is to help the team win. So I'd be thrilled if he threw for 1,000 less yards and we won 5 more games. It's a different situation. He's now the veteran. Last year he had a bunch of senior receivers. This year he's the older guy. He's breaking in some new receivers. And I think what's critical for him is managing the game, getting the whole offense on the same page, and taking care of the football. And if we score less points and we win more games, then we're very happy with the job he's doing.
Will you talk a little bit about how he is different from last year? And I mean, some of them are obvious: a bigger, stronger kid, making better decisions. Just what you're seeing and how he's different from last year.
Well, to me, the obvious is he's taken control and he's taken charge. He's a lot more vocal. He knows the offense better than any other player in our whole team, and because of that knowledge, I mean, he's able to make corrections on the field, and he's able to fix problems for us. And because he's the oldest guy, I think he has a lot better command of the room and the whole offense. So I think he fixes problems, and the players know that when he tells them something, that he knows.
And one other question I meant to ask you yesterday. Will you talk a little bit about this end of practice? You have 3s versus 3s. Obviously, that's not something you can do a lot during the season, that you have the opportunity before you start your weekly drills. What kinds of things are you trying to accomplish there?
Well, I mean, I just told the our 3s and the red shirts that our priority right now is to win in 2012, but we never lose fact of the sight that we want to develop the players in the program so that we're good in 13, 14, and 15. So at the end of I would say every 3rd practice, we keep the 3rd group out here, and we go through a separate individual with them, a separate Skelly and pass rush, and separate team. So we never lose sight of the fact that these guys out here are the future of the program. And doing that is going to give us our next Alex Huddle, and our next Vaughn Cooper, and our next Gabe Martin, and our next Paul Swan, and Rylan Ward, and the list goes on and on and on. But we think we have a very good freshman class, and we want to continue to develop those guys. And the payoff for doing this may not show up till 2015, but that's okay.